Good morning, children. I welcome you back to your information technology class. Children, from today onwards, we will start a revision. Okay. And the thing is, if you have any doubt in any topic, just let me know so that I can skip this part and go to those doubts that you're having and you want me to explain any topics that you find difficult and you need me to explain. Just please message me and I will do that. Okay. And let's continue with our revision. I'm hoping you will give me your doubts soon. Now, the very first question is, what is a computer? It is an electronic machine which processes the data according to the set of instructions that are stored internally. So automatically, whatever has been stored, whatever instructions had been stored, according to that, computer will process the data or given to it by the user, or whatever user is giving, that it according to that it will process. Now computer, like, there are attachments, there are devices that are attached to your computer, and that is known as hardware. Hardware are the things that you can touch, right? And there are hardwares like which are external and internal. So external hardwares that are outside and internal hardwares that are inside the computer, like CPU. Inside the CPU there are so many things. ROM is there, RAM is there, motherboard is there. So these are the hardwares. Now next is set of instructions that tells computer how to perform a task, right? And that is called as program or a software, right? And the instructions in the program direct the computer to receive the input, process it, and produce the output. So these are the instructions that tell computer to take the input, process it, and give the output. We know what is input. Children, like, data can be given by input devices, and input devices are keyboard, right? And light pen, these are the input devices. Now processing, like, how processing is done from the, like, whatever data a user gives, that goes to the CPU, the central processing unit. And what happens there, bache? All the processing, all the kind of processings, like calculating, comparison, or copying it, whatever operations are there, whatever processing is there, it is done through the CPU. Now output is given on monitor. Whatever result you see on the monitor, that is output device, right? Now storage devices are there, like magnetic disk is there, tape, pen drive is there, DVD. These are the storage where you can store the data. Okay, children. Now children, here is, like, give an example how human brain works, how it receives the information through sensory nerves of eyes, ears, nose, right? And then how brain works with this information, and it stores it in your memory for future use, right? Like that only, like how our brain works, human brain works like that. Computer brain, that is central processing unit, also is basically designed in the same level, or you can say in the same procedure. Whatever information that is input data is inside the computer, is processed. Okay. Like, processing data means works with it, and then what it does, it transmits, gives the output to an output media that you can say is a monitor. Okay. And even output can be in a form of printer. So what happens, input is taken, it is processed, then output is given, and from output two things can happen: either it is stored in the storage devices, or it can again given as an input, right? Now the important three C's are calculate, compare, and copy. Now what is calculate? Whatever mathematical calculations or operations are there, like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, these are all the common basics one, and right. So these, you think, these are the calculation that is done by computer. Then there's comparison also. computer can analyze and evaluate your data and match it with the set of data that is included in the program or taken from the storage. So it can analyze and evaluate your data. Now copying, like in a computer we can copy a data so many times or move a data from one place to another, so that is also copy. So that can be done. So remember these three C's: calculate, compare, copy. Okay. Now computer languages, children. So children, why do we use language? We use language to communicate. So whatever I want to tell you, I am using a method, and that is language, English language, right? I'm using that method to tell you something, and you can understand that also if you have the knowledge of it, right? So language is a means of communication. Whatever I want to tell you, I want to interact with you, so I can pass that message to you with the help of language. So children, like that also there are computer languages. If you want to tell our computer what to do, there are computer languages that help us to tell computer, because it doesn't understand English language like us, right? So there are other languages that it understands, and we give instruction in that language to computer. If you see this paragraph in line here, see, similarly a computer language is also a means of communication to exchange information between the user and the computer, right? So like this, programmer tells the computer what to do, and in computer language each symbol is used to tell the computer to do a particular job. Now children, there are two types of computer languages that has been classified as. One is low level language, next one is high level language. Now to understand low level language, it is a machine dependent language. Okay, to explain it how it works, children, this language, it offers few control instructions, only limited, okay, and data types. Then whatever statement is written in a program, that is written in low level language, and it usually corresponds to one machine instruction. Only one machine instruction is there. So let me explain you further little bit in detail this time, right? Further low level languages in like two types. First one is machine language, and how it works, Bache, it uses binary numbers. Binary numbers are 0 and 1. Remember this. Now a computer can execute a program only using these binary numbers, since it understands only zeros and ones. Okay, it won't understand anything any other language. So this program is written in zeros and ones. It is not very easy to develop programs using machine language, because we don't use machine language on a daily basis, right? So it is very difficult. Now the only advantage of using machine language in the program, like to write a program, is that it is very fast, because computer can directly understand it. So it doesn't have to like change it into his own language, like computer language, and then understand, because it is already in a machine language like zeros and ones, so computer can easily understand. So this language is faster. Fine. Now second low level language is assembly language. Now in this language, children, letters and symbols are called mnemonic codes, and children, these codes, these short words, these are in like short words for a lengthy set of instructions. So there could be a very lengthy information, set of information, so these codes are short words for that. Right? Now programming in this language is simpler for programmer and less time consuming, because it is not in a machine language. Okay, so we can understand, for us it is easier. It is also easier to locate and correct errors, because we understand this language, so we can find, debug all the errors in it. Now one limitation, one drawback of assembly language is that The program written in it for execution in one type of computer cannot be used in another type of computer. So it is only limited to one type of computer, and whatever instructions have been given, it will be for that computer. Okay. Now assembly language is designed mainly to replace each machine code with an understanding mnemonic code. Okay. Now whatever machine language was there, to reduce it, to make replace it, assembly language is there. And to execute assembly language program, it should be first converted into an equivalent machine language program, because then only the computer will understand, because computer always understands in binary language. So assembly language has to be converted into binary machine language, fine. Next, children, it is high level language, and high level language is developed to create application programs. So whatever applications we are using, right? So like Word we are using, presentation, PPT we are using, these are applications. Other applications could be Corel Draw, right? So these are applications that are very useful to the users, and for this high level languages is used. And children, these language are not dependent upon machines, and it permits the user to use understandable codes. Mean you can understand it properly. You won't have to go to the machine language and write that code. And these language have a proper structure, in a order it is written. Okay. Now how does a high level language works, Bache? Because it is understandable code, so obviously it would be in our language. So to make it understandable to computer, what we need to do, we need to translate into machine language. And that how can we do? We can do with the help of compiler or an interpreter. Now high level languages, also known as problem oriented language, because these programs are used for solving a particular type of problem, only a particular type of problem. Okay. So these programs are made to solve a particular problem. Example for these are for these kind of languages is Fortran, that is formula translation, then basic, then COBOL, C++, Visual C++. These are the high level languages, children. See children, example is there for high level languages. See, program code would be read x, so it will read the value of x. So whatever value you will give to the x, it will read. So computer knows what to do, read x. Now add y, so it will add y to whatever, like given whatever value is given priorly to this. So x is given, so after that it will add y to x. Then store z, so there is a value z in which the addition x plus y will be saved to z. Now what you want, it has been stored, but you want the printout of that sum. So what you will write, you will write print z, and it will print the data whatever has been stored in z. So this is how easy a high level languages work. It is structural. Okay, it is easy to understand. The only thing is we need to convert it to machine language with the help of compiler and interpreter. Okay. Now software packages, children. Software packages are ready to run programs. Mean by the click of second it will run like this. They contain necessary components and documentation, and the packages software is designed to meet the needs of wide variety of users. So whatever users were in need of, these packages help a user to do that. Like Microsoft Word, if you want to make a file or a document, Word is used. If you want to make presentation, this has been designed, right? It is ready to run program. So these are software packages. Now children, we have studied what is system software. These are general programs written for computer system, right? Whatever function you want your computer to do, whatever task, so these programs are those instructions. Now system software programs are like compiler. Okay, compiler is also a program, a system software program. Okay, and why it is called compiler? Because children, it compiles machine language. Compiles mean to like combine, you can say compile and combine are the same word. So it combines or compiles machine language instructions for every program instruction of high level language. We just studied that high level language that is understandable to us has to be converted into machine language so that computer understands it. And how we can do this? With the help of compiler and interpreter. So that is what compiler is doing. It compiles the instructions for every instruction. So whatever instruction is there in the program, every instruction will be compiled from high level language, and every program must be compiled before it is executed. Then only computer will understand what to do. What this program actually does, bache, it translates and scans the entire program first in a one go. Okay, and then translates into machine code. So in a one go it will read the entire program, and then only it will go to machine code. It will translate it to machine code. The translation process is called compilation. Okay, and the compiler not only translates the program statements, but it also produces a list of errors also. So it helps the programmers to debug your program. So if a user, basically a programmer, is programming a program, right, is writing an instruction, and the person wants to understand what has gone wrong, why this program is not working, we can compile that program. The computer will read the entire set of information together, and will let the user know that these are the areas where syntax error is there, or you have missed something, or you have added an extra thing. So it will indicate, it normally indicates the position and nature of these errors, right? So this is how the compiler works. So next is interpreter, children. It is another type of program that translates high level language into machine language. And how it works, the contrast between compiler and interpreter is this: that compiler reads the entire set of information all together, but the interpreter reads the source program line by line. And the thing is, program runtime is much faster when a compiler is used than when we are using interpreter. So interpreter is slower than compiler, and once compiled, the same program can be run any number of times. Okay, in contrast, an interpreter must be used each time the program is run. So whenever you want to run the program, interpreter has to be used. So here is a diagram. If you want to change high level language to machine language, you can do that with the help of compiler or interpreter. Now third is assembler, children. What is assembler? It is a program that converts an assembly language program into machine language. Okay, now the instruction, each instruction in assembly language, it is usually converted into one machine instruction. So every instruction is converted into machine instruction, and the translation process is called assembly, and the program that translates is said to have been assembled. Mean, assemble means to gather, na? To collect. So assembled, and the entire program must be assembled before it is executed. So before execution, we need to assemble the program. Okay, so children, for today we will stop till this topic. Read these topics. If you have any problem in these, let me know. From next class onwards, I will continue further on. Okay, and the thing is, if you have any doubt in any other topics, whatever topics are common, I will take that and explain it to you. But the thing is, you need to give me first your doubts, then only I can clarify them. So children, this was all. Thank you and have a great day.